Hey guys, before we start this video, I would like to say that, you know how I said a while back that I was going to rethink my content? Yeah, I actually did. I scripted this one. This is all completely scripted. I actually went through and thought about this. That's a shocker for a lot of people who've been following me. But I did script it, yes. So I really hope you guys enjoy this. If you guys enjoy this, please leave a like, subscribe. It really helps me out and know what you guys want me to make. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Apex at its bare bones is as simple as a battle royale can possibly get. A first-person shooter, you drop in, grab loot, go, die, or somehow win the game if you're lucky enough not to get killed by the other teams. This game was made on February 4th, 2019 by Respawn Entertainment, and the game used the shooting and wall climbing gameplay from Titanfall and Titanfall 2. I would also like to add that this came out a couple months after Fortnite's peak at Season 5. So this is about the lower point when people are starting to get off the game and notice that there's better things to play. So it came out at a very good spot to get popularity. But the big question is why is this one my favorite? Well, the reason it's my favorite is a bit of a long story, but I gotta go through the part of the lore first, so... Great transition, mate. Why did I wrote this down in the fucking script, god damn it. I am writing this part of the script straight off of memory, because I don't want to look at the wiki or else this part will take 10 fucking years to make. Anyway, there was a war between the IMC, which is the company that made the company that made the Titans from Titanfall, and the Militia, which is, I'm guessing, the company that fought against the IMC. And it ruined a place called the Frontier Group of Planets. It's a group. Yep, group of planets right there. See? Group. And there was one planet over there somewhere called the Outlands. Outland, rich planet, a lot of shit on it. Good shit. People move there. People dangerous, people bad, yes. Bad people kill. Years later, they fight an Apex Legend game. Big arena game. Fight to death. Is it death? I don't know. Maybe death. The Apex games are run by a guy named Brisk, who was an antagonist from Titanfall. I haven't played Titanfall in years, but he was one of them. So yeah, he was there. And he is the ambassador who was put there by the Mercenary Syndicate. Pretty shitty name, but you get the idea. He's the one who puts people into the game, and also can initiate people into the game if they wish to be. Anything from doctors to full-on murderers with very sketchy backgrounds can get into the game. No problem. I don't know what type of initiation it is, but I don't think it's much. Or you can get recommended into the game and get Willy Wonka's golden ticket from Brisk himself. And so people started joining. Many different people joined and fought in Apex, but only specific legends gained fame and fortune, and are the main characters you play as throughout the Battle Royale, which is what I'm going to go into now. Why are my fucking, like, segues so shit? Alright, first up is Bloodhound. Bloodhound, he was a kid of 2 engineers. And, is he a man or a woman? I don't know. The wiki qualifies him as them or they for one person, so I'm gonna go with that, because I'm really scared of what happens if I don't. They were taken by their uncle after the parents were killed in a meltdown at the something wherever they were, I don't know, it doesn't say. And his uncle taught him the tribal ways and shunned electronics, so no weapons. Why did I fucking say that? Is that really Weapons were a big no-no, but Bloodhound used weapons anyway. Uncle died due to big Ravager cinematic death. Look it up, it's on YouTube. Go find the fucking link yourself. And he ended up running the tribe, but decided to use weapons anyway. And years later, he ended up in the... Yeah, he ended up in the Apex. I don't think it tells us why, he just did. Gibraltar, otherwise called Gibby, insert your own iCarly fucking reference there, was the son of 2 search and rescue volunteers, and gained a lot of knowledge of how to get people out of situations. You know, death situations, bad situations. Until he ran away with his boyfriend, I think? That's what it said on the wiki? Put a thing on the screen. It says exactly what happened. And his dad lost an arm saving him. And he had to devote himself to saving others and join the game to protect his friends. Who are his friends? I don't know. Doesn't state that. If I had to make a guess, it's probably Bangalore is the next one we're talking about, I think. No, it's not. Anyway, Lifeline, your typical do it for the charity the one, you know, there's always that one person. And she joined the games to make money for other people and learned medicine from the Frontier Corps, which is a like helping people group. Yes. And the wiki doesn't say if that's actually how she got her medical treatment, but I'm gonna go with it because I have no fucking clue. I mean, someone can check me in the comments if I'm wrong about that. Pathfinder. He was activated in a random facility where he was left. Has no idea who he is or what he is or who made him. So he did a bunch of odd jobs trying to get stuff, you know, information. And then joined the Apex to gain fame and hopefully find out who his creator is. He's also the character that everyone plays when they don't understand what game they're playing and decide 1v3 is a good idea. And then they blame their team about it. It happens way too often. Banglador, or as I always call her, Bangladesh, because I keep fucking up the name, was a kid growing up in the military background, yes. I gotta stop doing that, what the fuck. Grew up in the military background and gained a lot of knowledge of guns. But a while ago, their brother and her were attacked in the Outlands, and her brother stayed back to protect her, but then she got stuck on the Outlands. And yeah, joined the Apex to try to get cash to get back. Wraith is the next one, but Wraith has the most confusing story, I think, so I'm gonna go through this one slowly. I hope I get it right. So, she was in an IMC detention facility for the mentally ill, didn't remember anything, and then came in contact with a version of herself from another dimension, who was a warrior, or like a weapon used by the IMC, I think, and wanted revenge on the IMC, so they swapped places, putting Wraith in the middle of the Apex arena when they were constructing it. And you can actually find that on the map. You can find the laboratory. But that's all I know off the top of my head. There's probably some more shit that I'm just forgetting, but we're going to go with that. Caustic is where I really have to question the legality of these games. But he is a scientist who specialized in pesticide gas and came too connected to his work to the point where he wanted to test on humans. A higher-up figured out about this, and so Caustic burned his lab down with the higher-up inside of it and ran away, presumed dead. His mother claimed that his body was charred beyond recognition, and 10 years later, he's in the games. The last of the original legends is Mirage. He was the youngest of 4 brothers who all went missing in the war, and he wanted to become famous. So Mirage used hollow point technology that his mother made for him to chase his dream. And he's also the comical relief for the entire game. Why did I almost say show? What the fuck? That's isn't like Friends or anything. I'm an idiot. Anyway, yeah. This is where we get into the characters that come out with each season, starting with Octane, who is a legend who was born with everything. He was gonna get his parents' pharmaceutical company, I think. Am I right about that? Put it on screen if I'm not. And didn't want to because he found it boring, so he did death-defying stunts to entertain himself. Just, you know, doing a bunch of shit. Until he tried to beat a record on a course and blew his own fucking legs off to break the record. Very smart idea. And he came in touch with Lifeline, a good friend of his from before, and gave him robotic legs. And so he joined the Apex games to do the exact same thing still. Crypto, who is my favorite out of all the legends, was an orphan whose foster sister... Well, they were both hackers. Let me start there. His foster sister was taken by the mercenary syndicate, and he was framed for her murder. Later on, it turns out she broke free, but I'll get back to that in a second. He ran away, changed his name to Crypto. His name was like Jung something before, I don't remember, put on screen. And he wanted to get into the Apex games to get closer to the people who framed him for what he did, because they, you know, Blisk, Syndicate, yeah, it's there. And so he didn't think he can get through initiation, so he blew up an entire fucking tower to be a distraction to hack his name into the system. I don't think that was necessary, especially since it says later that his foster sister said that they knew about him. I don't know if that was after they blew up the fucking tower or not, but if it was before, that was very unnecessary. Revenant is just a genocidal robot. He kills everything for the Mercenary Syndicate, got bored, killed everyone in Hammond, and then went into the Apex games to kill more people involved with Hammond. Hammond is that, I haven't talked about Hammond, have I? It makes robots and shit, things like that. That's written directly in the script. I said, Hammond is a company that makes robots and shit, things like that. It doesn't matter much till later. That's also written in the script. It doesn't matter much till later. But yeah, I forgot to say, Revenant killed, the girl's parents. Up, look, the girl's out for revenge. Her name's Loba. She's killing people. Actually, no, she's stealing things. But he wants to kill you. Yeah. That's all I really got about her. That's it. She steals stuff and she kills people. And if you're ever playing the game, if someone says they want to buy Loba, it's not for her skills. Just you can make that assumption yourself. And last but not least is Rampart. She was a mechanic. She was an engineer. I skipped somebody. I skipped Watson. How the fuck did I skip Watson? Fuck. Well, let's finish Rampart and then I'll go back to Watson. I just completely skipped over in the script as well. I wrote it right here. Yeah. Here it is. Anyway, Rampart, she was an engineer, and there's a lot of engineers. A lot of people are engineers here. A lot of tech. And a gang broke in, burned her shop down. And this is one of those times where Brisk came and gave her Willy Wonka's golden ticket. And she joined the games. And yeah. Also, she had connections with Bag Lady and Gibby. Why did I write it like that? And Mirage's roommate. Okay. Cool. Bag Lady and Gibby. I'm guessing I meant Bagelador. But I guess it's Bag Lady now. Alright, let's travel back in time and talk about Watson. Watson was the one who made the zones for the Apex games, but right before they came out, her father died. And then she was sad, but because she was sad, she joined the games to help her make friends, or help her friends and make friends. Do both. She likes friends. Yes. Alright, now that we talked about the legend, we can talk about the gameplay. And I'm on the 4th page of my script now, so that's cool. It took me this long to get to the gameplay. What, 12 minutes into the recording? That's awesome. Anyway, I can finally talk about the fucking game. That's cool. I'm just reading the script already. All the legends have their own powers and ultimates and passives, depending on your legend you pick. From bubble shields like Gibby to a staff that can let you take loot from far range like Loba, which is kind of a bullshit staff because it can only pick up 2 things. It's pretty fucking useless anyway. Most of it is to either improve your chances of killing the enemy or put your enemy at a disadvantage. So it's a big chess game to try to pick what's the best moment to use your power or ultimate to combat the other players in the game and to get the jump on others in the middle of a gunfight. Or not in the middle of a gunfight if you're Loba. You're just anywhere really, it doesn't really matter. And if you use your ult and power at the wrong use your ult or power at the wrong time or spot, it's gonna get you fucked. You're fucked. That's it. You're dead. Or give your team's position away. And yeah. You're probably wondering why I skipped over the big part of the game. It's mostly because it's basic battle royale. It's the quality of the game that I feel like makes it the best compared to any others. Everything about the game is so well put together. From the menus to the gameplay, everything runs so smoothly. The way that characters interact with each other. Throughout the game and in the game, characters will interact and quote things, such as if it's a new storm or one of your teammates died, they'll say something about it. Every single interaction for each character is completely different, except small little, like maybe thank yous or something like that. So for instance, if Loba talks to Revenant, they'll bicker and yell at each other and get annoyed and insult each other. Or if, one of my favorites is if Crypto and Caustic talk to each other, they'll call each other traitors, which is a reference to Season 5's story, where Caustic was feeding information to Revenant behind Loba's back, and blamed Crypto on it. It's small details like this that makes me want to play the game more. It makes me really enjoy what I'm doing in the game, just to hear the small little snippets throughout it. And this and the other part of the events and stories that the game tells is the reason why I keep coming back to it. If you want to understand more what I'm talking about, just go on YouTube and type in Apex voice interactions and just listen to how everyone like interacts with each other in game. It's not like little stories afterwards. It is every single game, characters will interact with each other and say specific things depending on who you're with. Another great example of this is one of the events that's going on right now that actually shows off the 15th legend in the game named Horizon, I think is the name of the character. Levitation Girl. She's Scottish, she's cool. The only way you can find this is if you go to the shooting range. So it's something that you'll get a little notification when you go in the game, but if you miss it, you would never know this in the game because the missions do not show up until you go to the shooting range and look at it. But when you do, you get this clip.
Okay, I'm gathering data on the Apex games, and I'd love to gather some data on, well, you. Oh, don't think of this as an experiment per se. Nothing to worry about, really. This is a totally voluntary, fairly low chance of dismemberment type deal. If you complete my diagnostic challenges, quite the reward is all yours. So, how about you show me what you're made of?
Afterwards, you go back to the menu and you're given 3 missions to do, which is just some bullshit, kill a couple people. And then you go back and she tells you to go trigger these levitation boxes. Now, I'm going to have to come back to levitation boxes later as a con, but we'll come back to that later. And after you do that, you go back to her and she talks about how she tricked you and was just gaining information off of you, and then, you know, tells who she is. And yeah, it's a great way of showing off a new character while keeping it in the game. I actually felt like I was going and doing something, especially when I did it on the first day and I didn't know how to do it. I had to go and figure out where all this stuff was on my own. It really made me immersed and try to figure out who this character was and why they were telling me to do all these weird things. Now, here's where I get into more of the problems of the game, mostly money. Everything in this game is so fucking expensive. It's just beyond reason. For instance, there's another event going on right now called the Aftermarket event. Although it gives a cool little event and like a small battle pass, like there's a new mission and everything, which is Flashpoint, which is just healing in specific spots. It's nothing really that interesting. All of the skins, which are really good skins, they're really like cool skins, are insane amount of money. If you want to buy one by itself, it's $24. If you want to buy all of them, it's $200 about. Didn't do the exact math, but probably $200. The only way you can do it any other way to make it a little cheaper is by doing the actual Apex packs, which are just loot boxes. And there's enough problem with loot boxes already, I don't have to go into that one. There's some other problems, such as if you saw with that clip before, there's actually supposed to be video there that they glitched out. Small little glitches like that, which I have to, state that that's something that happens. Some gun glitches can usually break the game, such as a big one going on right now is semi-auto Sentinel, and the Sentinel is a 2-shot weapon, so that's not very cool. Also, to go back to that event that I was talking about, the idea of using, like walking around, being able to trigger the gravity things to fly up and get to better spots and do the mission is a cool idea, but if it's something that you were able to do in competitive, I did not check if that was something you could do. I feel like that can give people advantages, especially if they haven't done it or didn't know you could do it. Because you can only trigger it after you do the first 3 missions, which is just kill people, which isn't a hard mission. Like, it's something easy that people can do, but I do have to say that could give a disadvantage, and yeah, disadvantage bad. My final verdict on this, Apex is a very well put together game. It's got a lot of personality and a lot of great style to it. I know this is a very rough video and very rough to listen to because I'm not good at talking for long periods of time. I'm at like 20 minutes now. But yeah, it was a really, really well done game, and I enjoy it. I still play it to this day, and I'm hoping that stays for a while. And thank you guys for getting to the end of this. It's really rough, I can tell. I haven't even edited this yet. I'm still just recording it. But, this is rough. I'm trying, alright? This is hard for me. I'm not a good public speaker. I was in a fucking Shrek play back in middle school. That's all I really got. But, yeah. That's it. That's all I got.